we would learn about the Python SQLite. Okay, in Python SQLite, first you need to install. You can do pip install. You can do pip install SQLite 3. This is being used. This is being used to install the SQLite connection. Okay, then once this is being ran successfully, then you can do import SQLite 3. Let us see. So see, I have I have imported this library SQLite 3. Okay, so this I have one SQLite database present. I have some SQLite database present, so I can build a connection. So CONN is a variable SQLite 3 dot, and it has a, if I press tab, so you would see a various functions available inside this library. Okay, so first step is you need to build the connection. So what is the first step? You need to build the connection to the SQLite database. So let's say I have connect. I already have this database present. I already have this database present. eSmart data. I will share this with you, which is in SQLite format. Dot is SQLite 3. Okay, you would see that okay, this database, this command is run successfully. This is a database. Okay, now we want to what we will do. Okay, this connection, if I show CONN, so you would see that okay, it is an object. It is an object which is storing all the rows inside this. Now we already know the concept of cursors. So what we will do, we will define a cursor. We will define a cursor and store these values inside this. So let's say I have defined a cursor CONN dot, and you press tab. So see, it has backup, commit, close, and cursor. So I need to define a cursor. Okay, so that's where now I have this. So if I show you CUR, so again it is a cursor object. It is a cursor object. Okay, if I want to see in which SQLite version I am, let us check the SQLite version. You can also check the SQLite version. So you can do uh, let's say let's say cursor dot execute. Okay, which SQLite version I am using. So let us run the query. So what we'll do, the normal select query is what we do select, right? And in SQL it is current underscore version, right? In SQL it is current underscore version when we run this in the MySQL. But here in SQLite you need to give SQLite underscore version. SQLite SQLite underscore version. Okay, and this you will encapsulate inside this execute condition, and then you will run it. Okay, then you will run it. Okay, now this this query, after that what we will do, we'll do version cursor dot, we want to fetch first we need to execute the query, then we will fetch. Okay, fetch all. So see, there are three of you: fetch all, fetch many, fetch one. Let us do fetch all, and let us see what is there in first row. Let us print the version, and let us close the connection, close the cursor. So see, we are using 3.35.4. So version we are using is this. Okay, so what we did, we first executed this query. This query got saved inside this cursor because we have defined the cursor. So it got saved in this cursor. From this cursor we have fetched that query. It is placed at 0, 0. Okay, and then we can print this. Okay, let us run this again. Let me show you some other things. So if I again run this, let us run this cursor, and if I take this out, cursor dot execute. Okay, and okay, this is what we got. And if I do CUR again, so see, it is nothing but an object. If I do dot fetch one, what will happen? So see, it is a tuple. It is a tuple. So that's where instead of fetch one I did, okay, if I do of 0, so see, not subscript table, because we know tuples we cannot do that. Okay, so that's where what I did fetch all. The moment I did fetch all, okay, it gone. Now I need to again run it. The moment I did fetch all and then I did 0 of 0, then you will get it. Okay, so you can execute that cursor only once. After that the value has been gone. Okay, the basic how we check the version, how we check the version. Let's say now this is what inside this, there is nothing. Now let's say I want to create a table. Let's say I want to create a table inside this. So how to create a table? Okay, so and cursor connection dot cursor, let us again build the cursor. Since we close this cursor, so we need to again build this. Again we need to do this. Okay, and again we need to define the cursor because we have closed the cursor. So this step is all the time if you are closing it. If you do not close it, then it's okay. Okay, now what we are trying to do in this step, we are trying to create a table. Let us create a table. So to create a table, that's where you have execute script. Okay, inside that you can write your script. So let's say what you will write in SQL. I want to create a table. Let's say I want to create a eSmart data instructor table. So what I will do, I will do just first drop table, whether it is existing in the database or not. Drop table if exists. The table name is, let's say, eSmart data underscore instructor. So I want to create this instructor table. So that's where I'm just checking whether this table is existing or not. If not, then please delete it. This is my first script that I want to execute. Then second script is, we will write create table eSmart data underscore instructor eSmart data underscore instructor. Okay, this is a table name. I want to create this. The syntax is same, pretty simple. I'll just create few of the columns. Let us create the ID column and let me call it as integer, and I'm telling that okay, it is not null. Okay, then second column is, let's say I want to create the first name, and let's say it is text and not null. Then the third column I want to create is last name, and let's say it is text and not null. Okay, and let's say I want to create a description. I want to create a one column description as text and calling it as not null and making it as primary key. Now you know the concept of the auto increment. So I want to make a primary key to ID and call it as auto increment. Right? So this is my basic table. This is my syntax. This is my script. So what I'll do, I will pick up this script. I will pick up this whole script and run inside this. I will run inside this. The same script I just copied here and I'll run inside this. Okay. Sorry guys. Let us remove this also. So this whole script, what I'll do, I just want to run inside this. Okay. Let us write it in triple quotes. Why it is not taking? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So this is our whole script that we want to run. Okay. This is a script that should execute and it should create a table inside the SQLITE database. Once this is created, I'm just doing saving this inside a connection. But let us not see. I'm just committing this. Let us commit. Okay, just committing it and closing it. Okay. Let us see whether we are able to run this script or not. So see, it is ran successfully. Now I want to know whether this table is created or not. Right? So what I can do is, uh, let us select this. Let us select the records, or let us insert the records into this table. Let us also insert the records. So again, I'll pick this. Let us insert the records. So to insert the records, we know we will write the statement insert into, and let's say values, what values you want to pass, okay. So let's say I passed any name, let's say Parmeet, first name is Parmeet, last name is Singh, okay. Then we have some description. So description, let's say I can pass it as data scientist. So let us try to give this value. Let us try to insert this value. Are we able to insert or not? Okay, this is my first. Let's say second, if I'm passing, let us pass for Abhishek. Okay, let's say last name I don't. Oh, okay, it is asking, it is telling that okay, it is not null, so we need to pass. Let's Abhishek, let's say Mishra, for example. And let's say is data analyst, okay. So I'll pass this record, and I will pass this inside this script, control V, and semicolon to terminate, right? And three brackets, closing this. So this is a script that we have written. We have just written here, and let us see, are we able to insert the records or not? Are we able to insert the records or not? Now you would see that okay, I have not passed the ID. Sorry. If you see insert into, I haven't written, I guess, the table name smart data underscore instructor, okay. That's where insert into smart data underscore instructor, okay. Now in this, if you see, I haven't passed the ID, right? So that's where I need to mention the column names also. So this should go in the first name, because ID I want as auto increment. Then last name, we are passing description. We are passing only three things: first name, last name, description. And ID I want that it should take a auto increment. So ID should be auto increment. Let us run this. It ran successfully. But let us execute now. Let us see whether the records are really created or not. Right? So that's where I just remove all these things, and we'll write select star from smart data underscore instructor. Smart data underscore instructor. Okay. So now what I'll do is, once this is being created, we need not to execute the script. We just want to execute a single statement. Select star from this, inside the cursor, and now I want to fetch all the rows for row in, because see, it will contain n number of rows. So fetch all, for row in fetch all. The same, all the concepts are same what we read in cursors. Okay, declare cursor, open, fetch is nothing but a loop, right? Let us now print row here, and let us now close the connection, cursor dot close. Okay, so it is telling fetch all. Okay, it is, sorry, it is my bad, it is cursor dot fetch all. So see, two records are inserted. Okay, so how I fetch this? Fetch all. Okay, I want to fetch all the rows into row, and it will keep on running. It's just the handler is automatically handled inside this. The handler is automatically handled, but in SQL we need to declare the handler and explicitly handle it. Okay, getting guys? I can do any n number of queries. So let's say I want to count the number of records. Let's say I want to count the number of records, that how many number of records are there. So I can put count of star from smart data instructor, and I know that this will return only one value. It will return on the number of rows. So that's where I can do that. Okay, I can create a variable number of rows it will create. So in cursor I would have only one row. Okay, fetch one. So that's where I would give fetch one. or we can give fetch all of 0 of 0 also, 0 of 0. Okay, you can write this also. Then we can print number of rows. Okay, we got two rows, we got two rows. Okay, so why we are using this? So basically, see, it could be possible that you want to analyze your data set. Okay, it is in the SQL, so you can do a connection with SQL, you can load the database here, and you can perform all your data wrangling and data cleaning operations. Let's say if you're a SQLite database, okay, you want to perform some operation and you want to create one clean database, that's where you can do it using the Python also. So this is how I want to show you that you can run the same queries, you can connect that. Okay, and you can create all the things, all the queries what we read. So it's just an overview that I want to give you, that okay, you can, if you know the cursors, why we read cursors, that's where I've told you that okay, though the cursors concept are different in the MySQL, but if you see, those concepts are applied here also. Okay, in Python, if you want to read those, you would be reading only using cursors. You can do it only using the cursors. Okay, so now you can write here n number of queries. You can write any complex queries inside this execute. If you want to execute multiple statements, then you can use execute script. If I show you, see, there are many functions inside this cursors. That's where, see, there are many functions. You can do a row count, you can do how many rows are there. So there are n number of functions. You can execute many scripts, you can execute a single script. So you can do n number of things using the cursors in the Python SQL. Okay. So this was the overview that I want to give you about the Python SQLite, that okay, how to install that, how to connect that, and how to use the concept of cursors. So now you understand, okay, what is fetch, fetch all, fetch one. Okay, and we can write all the basic queries, or you can write a complex queries also inside this scripts. Okay, so guys, I guess you got an overview idea about the SQLite also. Let me know if you have any issues. I can take a more in-depth